As the first light of dawn painted the sky in soft hues of pink and gold, Amir began to prepare his caravan for departure. The bustling oasis town that had been their shelter for the night was now a hive of gentle activity, as traders, travelers, and townsfolk alike started their day. The air was filled with the muted sounds of conversation, the clinking of metal, and the soft, occasional braying of camels. It was a symphony of morning, delicate and full of anticipation. Amir moved among his companions, his presence calm and reassuring. His deep knowledge of the desert and its ways had earned him the unwavering trust of those who followed him. Today, like many days before, he would lead them through the vast and silent desert, guiding them through the sands with the expertise of a seasoned caravan leader. The camels were loaded with care, each item placed with precision to balance the weight and ensure the animals' comfort during the long journey ahead. Amir's hands were steady and skilled, his movements a dance of efficiency and respect for the creatures that were their lifeline in the desert. The camels, for their part, seemed to understand the importance of their role, standing with a dignified patience as they were prepared for the day. With the first caravan ready, Amir looked out towards the desert. The sun's rays were now spilling over the horizon, casting a golden light that made the sand gleam like a sea of molten gold. It was a sight that never failed to stir something deep within him, a love for the endless beauty of the desert, a place that was both harsh and incredibly serene. He gave the signal to depart, and the caravan began to move, slowly at first, then settling into a steady rhythm. The sound of camel hooves on the soft sand joined the chorus of the morning, a gentle, rhythmic pattern that seemed to echo the heartbeat of the desert itself. As they left the oasis, the town's sounds faded away, replaced by the vast silence of the desert. Yet, this silence was not empty. It was filled with a profound peace, a sense of being connected to something much larger and more ancient than oneself. Amir felt it deeply, this connection, and he knew that those who traveled with him felt it too. The journey ahead would be long, and the desert was unforgiving. But in this moment of departure, there was only the anticipation of the journey ahead. The desert awaited them with all its challenges and its beauty, and Amir led his caravan into its embrace, guided by the light of dawn and the promise of the journey to come. The caravan's passage was a quiet testament to the enduring spirit of those who travel the ancient routes, a reminder of the timeless allure of the Silk Road. And as the caravan disappeared into the horizon, the desert seemed to whisper a welcome, embracing them in its vast, serene expanse. The caravan advanced, leaving behind the vibrant life of the oasis town, immersing themselves into the boundless heart of the desert. As the sun climbed higher, its rays illuminated the endless sea of sand, transforming the landscape into a shimmering spectacle of light and shadow. The vast, open sky stretched above them, an unbroken canvas of deep azure, against which the sun's brilliance painted a portrait of the desert's stark, mesmerizing beauty. Amir led with a steady pace, his eyes scanning the horizon, his senses attuned to the subtle language of the desert. The rhythmic sound of camel hooves on sand became the caravan's steady heartbeat, a comforting assurance of their progress. The gentle swaying motion, almost meditative, lulled the travelers into a state of peaceful reflection, each step taking them deeper into the embrace of the desert. Around them, the landscape was a masterpiece of nature's artistry, with dunes rising and falling like waves in a frozen ocean of gold. The desert was alive in its own unique way, whispering secrets of survival and resilience. Here, in the vast openness, one could feel both insignificantly small and profoundly connected to the web of life that thrived in these seemingly inhospitable conditions. As the day progressed, the heat enveloped the caravan like a thick, invisible cloak. Yet, there was a certain serenity in the desert's challenge, a reminder of the natural world's rhythms and cycles. Amir and his companions adapted to these rhythms, taking their rest during the peak of the sun's tyranny and traveling in the cooler hours of morning and late afternoon. Their breaks were brief, moments seized to share water and shade, a testament to the camaraderie and mutual support that was their true sustenance. The desert's embrace was not just of sand and sun, but also of silence, a profound, enveloping quiet that spoke to the soul. It was in this silence that many of the travelers found a deep sense of peace, a clarity of thought and purpose that was often obscured by the noise of settled life. Conversations, when they occurred, were soft and thoughtful, reflections shared between fellow wanderers bound by the journey. In the late afternoon, as the sun began its descent towards the horizon, the desert transformed once more. The light softened, casting long shadows and painting the dunes in hues of orange, red, and purple. It was a daily spectacle of fleeting beauty, a reminder of the world's ephemeral nature and the preciousness of each moment lived. As the first day of travel through the desert drew to a close, Amir felt a deep satisfaction in his heart. He looked back at the trail left by the caravan, a temporary mark upon the endless sands, soon to be erased by the wind. It was a humble reminder of their passage, a symbol of their journey's impermanence, and yet a testament to the enduring spirit that drove them forward. Under the vast, open sky, the caravan found a rhythm with the desert, a harmonious existence that spoke of respect, understanding, and a profound connection to the earth. In the desert's embrace, they moved as one, a small, peaceful part of something much larger, on a journey not just through the physical landscape, but through the landscapes of their own hearts and minds. As the last light of day surrendered to twilight, the caravan sought refuge for the night amidst a gentle expanse of dunes. The transition from dusk to night was a quiet spectacle, the sky deepening through gradients of purple and blue until the first stars timidly appeared, heralds of the night's canopy soon to be unfurled in all its celestial splendor. Amir directed the establishment of their camp with a practiced ease, the camels resting after their day's labor, their silhouettes against the dimming sky, a testament to the day's journey. The travelers moved with a soft efficiency, each task performed with the silent camaraderie born of shared purpose and experience. Tents were pitched, a perimeter established, and the night's watch assigned with the seamless choreography of a group well versed in the rituals of the desert night. As twilight deepened into darkness, the desert transformed. The heat of the day receded, replaced by the cool, caressing touch of the night air. The sands, so harsh under the sun's rule, now whispered invitations to rest, their surface a cool balm to weary feet. Above them, the stars emerged in their multitudes, a breathtaking canopy that arched over the vast, open desert, a tapestry of light against the velvet darkness. The campfire was kindled, its flames a beacon of warmth and light. Around this humble hearth, the caravan gathered, drawn by the fire's comforting glow and the unspoken promise of shared warmth. The flames danced and crackled, a lively contrast to the serene stillness of the desert at night. Their light cast flickering shadows, painting faces and forms with a gentle luminescence, while the soft sounds of the desert night provided a soothing backdrop. In this circle of light and warmth, the travelers found a moment of reprieve from the day's toils. Meals were shared, simple fare that nourished body and spirit alike. The act of breaking bread together under the vast dome of the starlit sky was a ritual that spoke of unity and gratitude, a moment of connection not just to each other, but to the timeless rhythm of the desert night. As the fire dwindled to embers, the caravan settled into a peaceful silence, each person lost in their own reflections. The desert night, with its infinite stars and profound quiet, invited introspection, a time for the soul to whisper its secrets, for the heart to listen. It was a time for dreams and memories, for hopes and fears to be gently sifted through the sieve of the mind, under the watchful gaze of the stars. Amir, seated a little apart from the others, gazed into the night, his eyes tracing the constellations that had been his guides and companions on so many journeys. The stars were like old friends, their light a comforting presence in the vast solitude of the desert. Tonight, as on every night, they spoke to him of eternity, of the smallness of human concerns in the face of the universe's vast mysteries. Yet, in this smallness, there was a profound beauty, a connection to something greater that lent meaning to their journey. The desert at night was a place of paradoxes, of immense solitude and intimate communion, of overwhelming vastness and comforting closeness. Here, in the embrace of the night, Amir and his caravan found a peace that was both profound and simple, a serene acceptance of the moment and the journey that lay ahead. Under the starlit canopy, the desert whispered its timeless secrets, and the travelers listened, their hearts open to the vast, tranquil beauty of the world at night. Here, amidst the sands and the stars, they found rest, their spirits replenished by the silent majesty of the desert under the cloak of darkness. In the gentle embrace of the desert night, the campfire's warmth gathered the caravan's members closer, their faces illuminated by the soft, flickering light. The silence of the desert was a vast canvas, now gradually filled with the timbre of human voices. Amir, with a gentle nod, invited the beginning of storytelling, an ancient ritual that wove the fabric of their collective journey. The first to speak was Layla, a young woman whose eyes sparkled with the reflection of the flames. Her story was of a city far beyond the desert, where water flowed in abundance and the trees bore fruit of unimaginable sweetness. Her voice, infused with wonder and nostalgia, transported the listeners to those distant streets, allowing them to taste the air of a place they had never seen. Her tale was not just a recounting of travel, but a sharing of dreams, a reminder of the diversity that thrived beyond the desert's embrace. Next, an elderly man named Hassan shared a legend of the desert itself, a tale of a hidden valley where the stars touched the earth and time stood still. His voice, rich and textured with age, carried the weight of tradition, the reverence for stories passed down through generations. His story spoke of respect for the desert and its mysteries, of the spirits that dwelled in the silent spaces, guiding the travelers who respected its vastness. As the fire crackled, a young traveler named Samir recounted his first journey across the desert, a tale of fear, courage, and discovery. His honesty, the raw admission of his vulnerabilities, struck a chord with the listeners. It was a journey within as much as it was a journey across the landscape, a coming of age that each had experienced in their own way. His story, filled with humor and humility, drew laughter and nods of understanding, a shared acknowledgement of the growth that travel demands and bestows. With each story, the fire seemed to burn brighter, the night drawing closer as if to listen. The stories were diverse, spanning realms of memory, legend, and personal experience, yet each thread contributed to the tapestry of their shared existence. It was a celebration of their differences and a testament to their unity, the stories weaving between them like invisible threads, pulling them closer. Amir, listening to each tale, felt a deep sense of gratitude for the richness of the human experience, for the capacity to dream, to remember, and to share. His own life, a tapestry of journeys across the desert, was enriched by the stories of others, each narrative a gem that sparkled with its own unique light. As the evening wore on, the fire dwindled to glowing embers, and the stories came to a natural close. The caravan settled into a comfortable silence, the words of the night settling into their hearts like seeds, ready to sprout into dreams. The stories shared around the fire were not just entertainment. They were the essence of their community, a source of strength, inspiration, and connection. In the quiet that followed, each member of the caravan was alone with their thoughts, yet united in the shared warmth of the stories. The desert, vast and silent, enveloped them in its timeless embrace, a witness to their journey, both outward and inward. That night, under the starlit sky, the caravan slept deeply, the desert's cool sand their bed, the canopy of the universe their blanket. The stories of the evening wove through their dreams, a mingling of memory, legend, and hope. And in that sacred space of rest, the bonds between them deepened, forged in the crucible of shared experience and the timeless ritual of storytelling. The caravan journeyed onwards, led by the relentless sun across the desert's vast canvas. Time, in this endless expanse, seemed to stretch and contract, each moment a blend of endurance and awe at the sheer magnitude of the landscape. The desert, with its shifting dunes and mirage-laden horizons, was a master of illusion, a realm where dreams and reality often intertwined. On the third day, as the sun reached its zenith, a speck of green shimmered on the horizon. Skepticism and hope mingled in the travelers' hearts, for the desert was known for its deceptive promises. Yet, as they drew closer, the green deepened, spread, and took shape, transforming into the unmistakable verdure of an oasis. The sight sparked a renewed energy within the caravan, a rush of relief and anticipation at the prospect of rest and replenishment. The oasis of dreams, as it was known to the few who had wandered its bounds, was a hidden jewel of the desert. Encircled by a modest ring of palm trees, it boasted clear, tranquil waters that whispered of ancient underground rivers. Its beauty was understated, a serene haven that seemed to exist in defiance of the surrounding desert's harshness. As the caravan approached, the air grew cooler, scented with the fragrance of fresh water and the subtle perfume of desert flowers. Birds, rare and vivid, fluttered amongst the palm fronds, their songs a melodic welcome. The travelers dismounted, their weary steps quickening as they neared the water's edge, the cool touch of the oasis's lifeblood a balm to their sun-kissed skin. The oasis was more than a mere stopover. It was a sanctuary, a place of healing and reflection. Amir instructed the caravan to rest, to take the day and the following night to replenish not just their physical reserves, but their spirits as well. The oasis, with its gentle beauty and nurturing presence, was the perfect backdrop for such renewal. The travelers spread out, each finding their own space within the oasis's embrace. Some meditated by the water, allowing the sound of its gentle flow to carry away the weariness of the journey. Others found solace in the shade of the palms, their leaves whispering secrets of resilience and growth. Amir, ever watchful, observed his companions, seeing the subtle transformation the oasis wrought within them. There was a softening in their faces, a release of tension that even the desert's vastness couldn't quite achieve. The oasis offered a different kind of vastness, one that was nurturing, filled with the promise of life. As night fell, the oasis transformed. The moon, reflected in the still waters, cast a silver glow, turning the oasis into a realm of dreams. The caravan gathered, not for stories this time, but in shared silence, each person enveloped in the night's serene beauty. The stars seemed brighter here, perhaps because of the water's reflection or the clear air, unburdened by the dust of the desert. The night was a tapestry of light and shadow, of sound and silence, a symphony that spoke to the soul. In the oasis of dreams, the travelers found a deep peace, a connection to the earth and to each other that transcended words. It was a reminder of the beauty that existed in the harshest of environments, of the resilience of life, and of the dreams that sustained them. Here, amidst the whispering palms and reflective waters, they were reminded of why they journeyed, of the beauty they sought in the world and within themselves. The oasis was a gift, a moment of grace in the challenging expanse of the desert, a dream made real. As dawn broke the following day, the caravan prepared to leave, their spirits lifted, their bodies and souls nourished. The oasis of dreams, with its tranquil beauty and nurturing presence, would remain with them, a memory to call upon in times of need, a reminder of the oasis that exists within, waiting to be discovered. Leaving the verdant embrace of the oasis of dreams behind, the caravan resumed its journey, spirits buoyed by the rest and rejuvenation they had found in that verdant haven. Ahead lay a new challenge, a mountain pass known to few but whispered about around campfires as a place of breathtaking beauty and serene solitude. The desert's vast openness gave way to rugged terrain, the sands replaced by rocky paths that wound their way upwards into the embrace of the mountains. The air grew cooler as they ascended, a welcome respite from the desert heat. The landscape around them transformed, the stark beauty of the desert giving way to the rugged, imposing majesty of the mountains. Here, the earth reached for the sky, its peaks shrouded in the mists of clouds, a realm where the land touched the heavens. Amir led his caravan with a steady hand, his eyes on the path ahead. The mountain pass was narrow, a winding trail carved into the mountainside, offering panoramic views of the desert below. It was a path of contemplation, where the vastness of the world was laid out in breathtaking perspective. Here, amidst the towering peaks, one could feel both the weight of the earth and the lightness of the sky, a duality that spoke to the heart of the traveler's journey. The caravan moved slowly, the camels navigating the rocky terrain with a sure-footed grace born of their adaptability. The travelers, too, found a rhythm in their ascent, their steps a meditation, their breaths syncing with the wind that danced through the pass. The mountain air was fresh, scented with the subtle fragrance of alpine flora, a reminder of nature's resilience and diversity. As they reached the highest point of the pass, Amir called for a halt. The caravan stopped, the travelers stepping forward to gaze upon the view that unfolded before them. The desert stretched out below, a vast tapestry of sand and rock, its endless expanse a contrast to the intimate proximity of the mountain peaks. Above, the sky was a deep, clear blue, the sun casting a golden light that illuminated the valley below in a warmth that felt both distant and tender. The moment was one of collective awe, a shared recognition of the journey's beauty and the humility it inspired. Amir watched his companions, seeing the wonder in their eyes, the silent reverence for the majesty of the world. It was a moment of connection, not just to each other, but to the earth itself, a reminder of their place within the grand tapestry of existence. They rested there, at the pass's apex, taking the time to simply be. Conversations were soft, reflective, as if the mountains inspired a depth of thought and emotion that the open desert could not. The travelers shared their impressions, their voices a murmur against the backdrop of the wind and the vast silence of the mountains. The descent began as the sun started its journey towards the horizon, the light turning the mountains' faces into shades of gold and crimson. The path down was less steep, winding through valleys where streams chuckled over rocks, where greenery clung to the earth with a tenacious vibrancy. The mountains, with their solemn majesty, gave way gradually to the open spaces of the desert's edge, a transition that felt like emerging from a dream into the soft light of reality. As they made camp at the foot of the mountains, the travelers carried with them the peace of the mountain pass, a serene quietude that enveloped their hearts. The journey through the mountains had been a passage through another world, a place of beauty and contemplation that stood in contrast to the desert's vast openness. That night, under a sky where stars seemed to shine with an extra brilliance, the caravan rested deeply, their dreams infused with the memory of the mountain's majesty, the serenity of the pass, and the profound sense of connection to the earth and to each other. The mountain pass had been a journey through the heart of the world, a reminder of the beauty that lay in the challenging paths and the breathtaking vistas that rewarded the traveler's courage and faith. As the caravan settled beneath the vast desert sky, transitioning from the solemn majesty of the mountain, passed back into the embrace of the open sands, a sense of calm pervaded the camp. The fire crackled to life, its warm glow a beacon in the cool night, drawing the travelers close. Tonight, the air was thick with anticipation, for Amir had promised to share his own story, the tale of how he came to be a caravan leader, a story woven with the threads of adventure, serenity, and destiny. The travelers gathered around, their faces illuminated by the firelight, their eyes reflecting the stars above. Amir began his tale, his voice soft yet clear, carrying through the still desert air. "I was once a silk merchant," Amir started, his gaze lost in the flames, "in a city where the desert meets the sea. My days were spent among bales of the finest silk, its colors as vibrant as the sunset, its texture soft as the morning breeze. But my heart longed for the desert, for the freedom of the open sands." He paused, a smile playing on his lips as he remembered. One day, a caravan arrived from the distant east, bearing silks the likes of which I had never seen. The leader, a man of great wisdom, saw the longing in my eyes. He spoke to me of the Silk Road, of the wonders and dangers it held, and of the souls brave enough to traverse it. The fire popped, casting sparks into the night as Amir continued. He offered me a place in his caravan, not as a merchant, but as a traveler. The decision was fraught with risk, but in my heart, I knew it was my path. So, I left behind my life of comfort, my family, my home, to embark on a journey that would change me forever. The listeners were captivated, hanging on his every word. "The desert taught me," Amir said, his voice imbued with reverence, "taught me about the strength of the human spirit, about the bonds formed not of blood, but of shared struggles and triumphs. I learned the language of the stars, the secrets of the sands, and the joy of discovering the world's vast beauty." Amir's gaze met those of his companions, each a fellow traveler on this journey of discovery. When the old leader passed, he left me in charge, trusting me to lead as he had. It was not a role I had sought, but one I accepted with honor. Since then, I have guided many caravans across the desert's heart, each journey a story, each traveler a thread in the tapestry of this life. The fire had burned low, its embers glowing softly in the night. "This road we travel," Amir concluded, "is more than a path through the desert. It is a journey of the soul, a quest for peace and understanding in a world of beauty and mystery. As I once was guided, so now I guide, sharing the lessons of the desert, of life, with all who journey with me." Silence followed the end of Amir's tale, a reflective hush that enveloped the camp. The travelers, moved by his words, felt a deeper connection, not only to Amir, but to the journey itself. His story was a reminder of the paths they had chosen, of the courage it took to embark on this journey, and of the discoveries that lay not only in the world around them, but within themselves. That night, under a canopy of stars, the caravan slept with hearts full of stories and dreams of the road ahead. Amir's tale, a thread woven into the fabric of their collective journey, had deepened their understanding of their leader, of each other, and of the endless tapestry of the Silk Road. As dawn broke, casting its first light over the desert, the caravan stirred to life. Today was significant, for they would reach the city at the edge of the world, a place where cultures blended like the colors of the desert at sunset. This city, a nexus of trade routes from all directions, was a symbol of the journey's end, and yet, for some, the beginning of another. The travelers packed their camp with a sense of eager anticipation, the air buzzing with the energy of impending arrival. Amir, ever the calm center of the caravan, ensured that everything was prepared for their final stretch across the desert sands. The city appeared as a mirage at first, its towers shimmering in the heat haze, an illusion made solid by their steady approach. As they drew closer, the landscape began to change, the stark desert giving way to fields of green, nourished by an intricate system of irrigation that spoke of the city's ingenuity and resilience. Entering the city was like stepping into another world. The air was filled with the scent of spices and the sound of bustling markets, a cacophony of languages, and the clangor of artisans at work. The streets were a maze of color and life, vibrant with the flow of people from all corners of the earth. It was a place where the distant and the familiar met, where stories from far-off lands were as common as the desert sand. Amir led his caravan through the city gates, their arrival unnoticed by some, but welcomed by many. Merchants eager for news from the road approached, while curious onlookers gathered to see the travelers from the desert. The caravan moved with the confidence of those who had traversed the Silk Road, their camels bearing the marks of the journey, the fabrics and goods they carried a testament to the distance they had covered. The city at the edge of the world was a place of peaceful excitement, a bustling hub of trade where goods, ideas, and cultures intermingled freely. Here, the travelers would rest, sell their wares, and share tales of their journey across the desert. For some, this city would become a new home, a place to set down roots after a life of wandering. For others, it was a brief stop, a place to gather strength before setting out on new adventures. Amir watched over his caravan, seeing the wonder in their eyes as they took in the sights and sounds of the city. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing he had guided them safely through the desert to this place of endless possibilities. Yet, in his heart, there was also a touch of melancholy, for the journey they had shared was coming to an end. In the days that followed, the caravan's members went their separate ways, each carrying with them the memories of the road and the bonds formed in the desert's embrace. Amir remained in the city, taking time to reflect on the journey and the lessons it had taught him. One evening, as he walked the city streets, he looked up to see the stars, those same stars that had guided their path through the desert. In that moment, he understood that the journey never truly ends. Each ending is a beginning, and the road always calls to those who listen. The city at the edge of the world was a crossroads, not just of trade routes, but of lives and destinies. For Amir and his caravan, it was both an ending and a starting point, a place where dreams were both fulfilled and born anew. As the sun set over the city, casting its golden light on the bustling streets, Amir felt a profound peace. The journey had changed them all, weaving their stories together into the fabric of the Silk Road, a tapestry as vibrant and enduring as the desert itself. On the eve of their arrival at the city at the edge of the desert, the caravan made camp for the last time in the open sands. The journey that had started under the auspices of dawn was now nearing its completion, a chapter closing as another awaited its beginning. Tonight, the desert seemed to hold them closer, the vast expanse of sand and star a silent witness to their reflections and anticipations. Amir, ever the guardian of their collective spirit, sensed the need for a moment of pause, a space for contemplation before the morrow's transition. As the moon rose, casting a gentle glow over the dunes, he invited the travelers to gather, not for tales or plans, but for a shared silence under the moon's watchful eye. The travelers sat in a circle, the soft silver light painting their faces with a tranquility that mirrored the desert's own. The night was still, the usual chorus of nocturnal sounds muted, as if the desert itself was holding its breath, honoring their moment of reflection. Amir broke the silence, his voice a whisper in the vast quietude. "Tonight," he began, "as we sit under the gaze of the moon, we find ourselves on the threshold of a new chapter. The journey across the desert, with all its challenges and beauty, has brought us here, to this moment of reflection." He paused, allowing his words to sink in, giving space to the weight of their collective experiences. This journey has been one of discovery, of the world around us, and of the depths within ourselves. We have faced the desert's harsh embrace together, found solace in its serene expanses, and learned from the silence of its nights. The travelers listened, their hearts open, their minds wandering the paths of their own reflections. Amir continued, "Tomorrow, we enter the city at the edge of the world, a place where cultures converge, where our journey takes on a new form. But tonight, let us reflect on the path we have traveled, on the bonds we have formed, and on the peace we have found in the desert's embrace." The circle was quiet, each member lost in thought, their reflections as varied as the stories that had brought them to this caravan. Some thought of home, of the loved ones they would return to with tales of their journey. Others contemplated the road ahead, the adventures yet to be found beyond the city's gates. And some, like Amir, found their thoughts turning inward, marveling at the journey's transformative power, the way it had reshaped their understanding of themselves and the world. As the moon climbed higher, its light became a beacon for their thoughts, a mirror reflecting their inner journeys. The desert around them, vast and unchanging, stood as a reminder of the world's enduring beauty, of the peace that could be found in the simplicity of sand and sky. The moment of reflection drew to a close, a collective breath shared under the moon's watchful eye. The travelers felt a renewed sense of connection, not just to each other, but to the journey they had undertaken, to the desert that had been their teacher, and to the moonlit path that lay ahead. That night, as they slept under the desert sky for the last time, their dreams were woven with the threads of their reflections, a tapestry of memories, hopes, and the serene beauty of the world under the moon. The journey across the desert had been a passage, not just through the landscape, but through the landscapes of their own hearts, a journey that had brought them to the brink of a new beginning, enriched by the peace and understanding they had found along the way. As dawn broke, painting the desert in hues of gold and crimson, the caravan stirred to life for the final leg of their journey. Today, they would reach the city at the edge of the world, the culmination of their passage through the desert's heart. The air was charged with a mix of anticipation and nostalgia, a collective breath held at the threshold of change. Amir, who had guided them with a steady hand and a gentle spirit, moved among his companions, offering words of encouragement and shared excitement. The journey had transformed them, not just individually, but as a collective, woven together by the threads of experiences, challenges, and the beauty they had witnessed. As the caravan set out, the desert around them seemed to acknowledge their departure, the early morning light casting long shadows on the sand, a visual testament to the journey they had undertaken. The silence of the desert, once a vast canvas for their thoughts and reflections, now echoed with the sounds of their progress, a symphony of footsteps, camel hooves, and the soft murmur of voices. The landscape began to change as they approached the city, the open sands giving way to patches of greenery, signs of life flourishing at the edge of the desert. The air carried the scent of spices, the promise of the bustling markets and vibrant streets that lay ahead. And then, there it was, the city at the edge of the world. It rose on the horizon like a mirage made real, its walls and towers a testament to the convergence of cultures, a place where the desert met the rest of the world. The travelers gazed upon it with wonder, their hearts a mix of joy and wistfulness. This was the end of their journey across the desert, but it was also the beginning of new adventures, new paths to be explored. As they entered the city, the quiet of the desert was replaced by the cacophony of city life. The air was filled with the sounds of merchants calling, the laughter of children, and the clatter of carts on cobblestones. The smells were intoxicating, a blend of incense, fresh bread, and the indefinable essence of a place where many paths crossed. Amir led them through the streets, their caravan drawing curious glances from the city's inhabitants. To the travelers, everything was new and wondrous, each sight and sound a reminder of the world's vast diversity, of the endless possibilities that lay beyond the desert's embrace. They made their way to the heart of the city, where Amir had arranged for their stay. There, amidst the hustle and bustle of urban life, they would rest, recount their journey, and prepare for the journeys yet to come. For some, this city would be a waypoint, a brief stop before they resumed their travels. For others, it might become a home, a place to linger and explore the mysteries it held. That evening, as the sun set over the city, casting it in a golden light, the travelers gathered one last time. Amir spoke, his voice filled with pride and affection for the group that had become his family. Our journey across the desert has ended, but the paths we walk are many, and each of us carries the journey within us. Remember the peace of the desert, the bonds we have formed, and the beauty we have witnessed. Let these be your guides as you move forward. Their farewell was a celebration, not of endings, but of beginnings, a recognition of the journey's transformative power and the infinite paths that lay ahead. They shared stories, laughter, and the silence of deep gratitude under a sky that mirrored the starlit canopy of their desert nights. The next morning, as the city awoke to a new day, the travelers began to disperse, each to their own destiny, their steps guided by the lessons of the desert and the bonds of their shared journey. Amir watched them go, a sense of fulfillment in his heart, knowing that the desert spirit would accompany them, a silent guardian on the many roads they would travel. And so, the journey of the Silk Road Caravan was both an end and a beginning, a passage through the timeless beauty of the desert and into the vast tapestry of the world beyond. It was a reminder of the journeys that shape us, of the landscapes, both external and internal, that we navigate in our quest for understanding, connection, and peace. Close your eyes and settle into a comfortable position. Whether you're lying down or seated, allow your body to relax completely. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with air, and then gently exhale, releasing all the tension from your body. This meditation will guide you into a deep, restful sleep. As you follow along, let my words be the gentle waves that guide you into the peaceful embrace of slumber. Begin by focusing on your breath. Feel the natural rhythm of your inhale and exhale. With every breath, imagine a wave of relaxation sweeping over your body. Starting from the top of your head, let this wave of calm flow down to your toes, relaxing each part of your body one by one. Now, bring your attention to your mind. Visualize your thoughts like leaves floating on a gentle stream, drifting further away with each breath. There's nothing for you to do right now, nowhere you need to be, except right here in this moment of peace. As your body sinks deeper into relaxation, imagine a soft, warm light enveloping you. This light brings with it a deep sense of calm, filling every corner of your being. With each breath, this light grows brighter, your body feeling lighter. It's now time to let go completely. Your serene place is here to cradle you into deep sleep. With every breath, Feel yourself drifting further into this haven of peace. You are safe, you are loved, and you are embraced by the gentle arms of sleep. As my voice fades away, let the calmness and peace you feel guide you into a deep, restful sleep. Your body knows what it needs, and it's time to surrender to the soothing rhythm of your breath, to the quiet of your mind, and to the warmth of your peaceful place. Release all hold on consciousness and allow yourself to sink into the depths of sleep. Here, in this space, healing and rejuvenation happen effortlessly. Let go and let sleep envelop you in its comforting embrace.